Hello everyone, this is Bigalski.
And JTB.
And this is Ninja Gaiden 2004, my very hard karma run with my good buddy JTB. This is chapter 4. And what I've decided to do, the first 3 chapters are you just kind of go through there. You don't have to worry too much about respawning enemies. But in this chapter, you do. So I'm going to show all the fights where I get the points. My main goal is, of course, to make the time limits, but also to get as much essence as I can out of the enemies, which means a lot of Azuna drops because of the splash damage, and also UTing as much as possible. If you don't care about time limits and all that stuff, you know, none of this probably matters, but I don't want to have to farm outside of, you know, some kind of chapter, let's say, you know, farming and lose a chapter bonus.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's not having to worry about UTs is great. Now, this fight right here, this is a bitch. It really is. So, this right here, I've tried it multiple ways. This is me actually making it after, I bet, 40 or 50 tries. I'm actually going to show some bloopers. I get a little bit lucky here. Like right here. So I got lucky, and I'll take the luck. It all depends on the spawn.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. I was talking about I did this fight on stream a couple of days ago, and it's funny that I've not seen this before. Like, that's a completely different way to how I did that. Like, it's so different, like, the approach. But again, you know, it still works.
Well, you know, I don't have the abilities or the movement control as JTB, so I got to find out ways myself. You know, he's the ninja master, I'm the working man's ninja, but at the end of the day, between us, you know, we can hopefully help a lot of people learn a lot of different ways to fight fights. So this right here, this right here, I'm actually showing again all the points like I said, so I'm going to go back up and save. I was going to continue on the chapter, but once I made that time limit, it's like, you know, I gotta go save.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, on my run that I'm planning, I'm just going to save, like, after the first 2 fights, and then I'll just do that as it is. So I think we're going to have a slightly different pattern, but like, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Side note, though, with all the videos that we're going to be doing of NGO4, what do you think the ratio of, like, you know, plasma costume to regular costume is going to be?
Oh, it's
we're always going to be using this one.
So these next few videos, or these next few clips, are the, you know, the kind of the bloopers of it. So as you can see, you know, I wasn't even going to be close on that. I tried going in with the ET and the UT. So this is my UT, Fiend Sealer, counterattack, Fiend. See, I didn't have to roll, and then that roll is going to end up costing me. And then also, I do some extra. I don't think this kills it. Yeah, look how close I was.
Oh yeah.
So again, the next few clips are going to be this, and hopefully this will give people some ideas of what ends up working better for them.
Yes, I'm trying to remember how I did this, because on when I did it on stream, funnily enough, the first time I tried it, I just sort of came in and thought, okay, I have an idea, let's see if this works. And it actually worked, but I got super lucky. And you know, see what's happening here. The other guy's spawning on the other side. This is what messes you up. And on the first time I tried it, all of them came down in pairs on the first bit. So when I did my Nimpo, the activation killed 2, and then the fireball also killed 2. So it took them out super fast. But then after that, it took me, I don't know, probably a good 20 minutes of, like, constant attempts to get, like, a similar pattern to where the time limit was even possible. Because some of these, if you get a really bad spawn pattern, like right here, the Dragon Sword UT takes 4.3 seconds to animate and an enemy to dissolve. So if you've got an enemy spawning in at like 5 seconds, you're done. Like, you're just not going to make the time limit.
So I think, here's my ET. Go ahead and do that. The splash damage I'm counting on.
Oh, that would have been so good if that had took out all 3.
Right, and then, see, I mean, again, just blah.
I need to get myself a US Xbox. I want human decapitations in my NGO4.
I think
even
this
now,
is one of my
closest
closest one right here. See, I dogged it. If I'd counterattacked at the beginning,
Yeah.
I would have actually had a chance. But I just lit an impo.
Oh, that's unlucky.
So anyway, I was actually not going to even. I'd actually quit. You know, I'd quit. I wasn't going to, say I just couldn't make the time limit. And then I said, you know what? Let me try it one more time. And then that's when it happened.
Yeah.
So this is going back to the regular gameplay since I have the save. I'm going to show all these fights, trying to manage that essence because I felt whenever I was making this video, I needed to have a great devil elixir to make the time limit in Chapter 6. And since this video and Chapter 5, some other, information came through to where, maybe you don't. But again, we'll get that in Chapter 6. So right now, again, UTs, splash damage, Bazuna drops to get the most essence. Because what is it? It's seven times, right? 7 times the value?
I want to say yes, but honestly, like having played a lot of NGO4 over the past few weeks, there's little things that I'm finding out, and I think, this is actually a really subtle difference from Black. It's easy to look at this and think, okay, this is this is that, this is this. But I'm pretty sure it is still 7 on the UT multiplier. I think it's in HP 1 where it's, they changed it to what it was. As far as I remember, it is 7 times in NGO4. But there is actually a lot of testing that I want to do just to kind of make sure all that information is correct.
Now, whenever you go across this line, it's going to trigger that. Open the chest from that side. Because if you actually look at the chest and then look at those guys, that timer will start.
Yeah, it will.
So just be careful of that. I thought about maybe not getting, and I was like, where's the guy? And then again, see, there's my bad inputs, man. I'm telling you, getting old and reflex, it sucks, man. It really does. Everybody enjoy it while you can still have it. I get so confused in my old age now. But again, the good part about all this is if an old man can do it, anybody can do it.
You would think.
Well, that's what we're making the videos for. I think I messed this up too. But I thought about not getting the spirit of what was that? The life of the 1,000 gods. I thought about not getting that. See, that's kind of unlucky that I didn't get any. And see, there's me jumping the wrong way. I thought about not getting the life of the 1,000 gods and waiting until another chapter to pick that up. But then I'm like, there's that me not knowing about the. You couldn't do the forward Y into the forward Y.
Yep. It hurts.
Yeah. So, like I said,
landing frames in general, are different. Online, I keep getting myself caught out trying to do on-landing Nimpo because you can't do that in NGO4. So, you do something, you think, Nimpo, I'm fine, and you just get nailed for half your life in this game. And you're like, that doesn't work in this game.
So I think here I go to jump. And look at all the time, so I can just, you don't have to worry about them grabbing you like you said, so I could just, and I want to wait for him to get up, because I can't tell you how many times that's knocked him away, and it almost knocked him away. That has happened quite a bit. So
yeah, they have a lot more health in this game too. It's one thing that we'll probably mention a lot throughout the videos is, myself, I've played, I can't even count how many much more times I've spent in NGB than NGO4, and you really do forget just how crazy some of the health distribution is on very hard.
Now this shouldn't happen right here. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Insane. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I thought, okay, as long as you don't pick up the devil elixir first, because it'll definitely start the clock then. Look at me missing my expose. But again, it started the time. The good part about it is they're all running underneath you. But just to finish the point real quick, these videos, we just kind of say what's going on the screen at the time. But I thought about not getting that life of the 1,000 gods and using that time to farm just, again, within the constraints of the time limit, the constraints. Is that the right word? Concentrates? Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
and then using that time to, farm some kills and get some essence. But I said, you know what? Having the larger health bar, again, with some of these enemies, how stronger, the more damage that they do, I better go ahead and do that right now. So this is the pattern that I like to do. People do a little bit different. If you're going to use the X machine, like I said, I put in my Life of 1,000 Gods to go ahead and get the health out of the way. So
it also, Sam, I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to follow on from that because it brings up an interesting comparison. Because in NGB, one of the things we've mentioned a lot is as long as getting hit doesn't alter, hinder your time limit at all. Sometimes getting hit is actually optimal. It's better to get hit to set up something to get yourself more points, and that kind of stuff tends to happen on the fly. And you think, okay, this is fine because you have the health. In this game, you really need to remember just how much damage the enemies deal to you. I need to put together a list of it really, but there are so many moves that the enemies have in this game that with the 1 or 2 life upgrades lower that you typically have on a Karma run because you don't need them all. On this game, getting hit by those attacks at a certain amount of health, they'll just take you out.
Look at that. Stop. That full UT didn't kill that guy.
And he still took a couple of hits after that.
If what I found going again right there, the good thing about the Azuna drop is if it does splash damage to people around you, that's good, like on Captain or a Spider Ninja or some Captain guy. But if they don't take any damage at all in any way from if they block a hold Y or anything like that, you won't kill them with the UT. The full UT will not kill them.
Yeah, that reminds me actually that I wanted to try and think of I wanted to try and come up with a combo to actually guarantee that, because I was thinking I like the kind of bread and butter is it's like it's wind run and then just on landing UT. I'm trying to think of a sequence where you'd be able to do like a string that guarantees you a wind run into a UT to guarantee you the UT would kill them. So that's something to think about.
See, that's in here. I know I've got some Nympho. Why not use it instead of trying to fight them again? My goal is time limits and essence. Start building for the UF. The Dabi cost a lot to upgrade. I'm starting to think about that. Yeah,
it's a lot more expensive in this game.
So I'm starting to think about all that right now. And again, if people came here to see Flash and combos, watch JTB123 on Twitch. 0 Joe Button 0 on YouTube, because you're not going to find that from Big Alski. And I will say this, unfortunately, I'll admit that I think, whoops.
That was intentional. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
that was totally intentional. Come on, that was beautiful.
But you're not going to see any of that from me, and I will say, like, it's kind of hurt me because I haven't learned the whole aspects, because all I wanted to do was really kind of play it for score. So, see, I want to make sure that he gets close to me as possible, because if I release a little early, it's almost like it doesn't do that much damage. Or that first hit doesn't do as much because it's a little bit farther away. I mean, again. So this is what I think I came up with. And then I'll Fiend Sealer. And then do it. Because, see, one thing, too, is if I'd release that UT early, it would push him up the stairs. Or it'll push him down the stairs. I don't think you have to go that far, but, again, I know my time limit. I kind of did a rough estimate or playthrough. See, there's me not doing being able to do my on landing, my forward Y.
Yeah, it's frustrating. In this game, you have to remember, you have to go back to the old armor breaking string, the X hold down Y into forward Y. Fun fact, actually, XXX forward X, XX forward XX, that also breaks armor. The move that ends in like the spin kick? That will like knock them back, and you can forward Y after that. It looks really cool. It's just obviously too slow. You don't want to use a string that long.
Yeah.
So it just
like right there, I didn't mean to absorb the essence, and I absorbed the essence. So this is not. ultimately, if you were, your goal was to kill it, this is actually what you want to do right here. To guarantee, you want to UT the captain guy. So I didn't UT him, but I think I did it, 4 or 5 times. I mean, why sit there and finish the chapter with 6 minutes to spare, and then you get to where you need your UF in chapter 10 and you can't.
Yeah.
You have to.
One thing I just thought of to note: this is a fresh game, isn't it? Because there is actually elements of successive play in Karma Run on this game. So we'll get into that probably in a different video. But it mainly relates to the Scarab rewards. Bar the Debilero, you get them all early, so it actually gives you access to things that you wouldn't normally have, which is kind of cool.
See, look, I don't know why I do that. My wife watched me play. We talked about it in an earlier chapter. She says you're pressing the buttons, but I try to press them so fast that I'm not actually pressing like the Y. I'm tapping it, but not pressing it down. And notice that I rolled away, because if I'd held Y, it would have Fiend Sealer the guy. But sometimes you'll see in later chapters that it doesn't always Fiend Sealer the guy when you think it is.
Yeah.
So here I'm just using Nimpo, because again, I want to make sure that I UT at least one of these guys to get his essence. And I'm making it as easy as possible. Again, this is not a show. I mean, I have to say it, because I know some people say, all you did was a Zuna drop in UT. Well, that's what this goal, that's what I'm trying to do. That's my goal, so.
I really miss the, like that little extra effect on the Azuna drop, like the blue circle and the explosion when you come down. I know we've mentioned this just while I'm streaming, like the gold trail Ryu has in this costume, like, just looks so cool when you're doing UTs. I'm loving these transitions, by the way.
Oh,
I'm digging. I need to up my transition game.
I've got like 500 or something. Now, I wanted to say right here, I kind of dogged this too. See, I thought I was going to get the other guy, and I hate not being able to charge. But I went to Hands Bar, and I went to Maramasa, and one of the reasons I wanted to do all this farming and get the essences, because I felt I was going to need an extra great devil elixir for chapter 6. So I bought that. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't have bought, didn't buy that.
What's the great devil elixir? 20k?
15k. So I don't know if I'm going to make the essence bonus. I'm not really worried about the essence bonus there, but like I said, my goal is I really felt I needed that. After playing chapter 6 and replaying it a different way, I didn't use that. I could have used that money to upgrade my start upgrading my wooden sword, but also, and we'll get into this in chapter 6 in more detail. Dang it, I forgot the time limit. I think it's like 17 or 18 minutes or something like that. I'll put all
so you
of
still
that.
had plenty of time left, really.
Do what?
You still had plenty of time left if it's 18 minutes.
I think it was. I can look here real quick. I usually have all that stuff ready. I can't go down and look at it, but I'll put all that in the link and say what the time limits are for normal, hard, and very hard. But again, in chapter 6, you're probably going to need a lot of Nimpo to make the time limits. It's a crazy chapter time limit. I know this is a little early, but having a lot of Nimpo will help. The Monk Fiends are a lot different than they are in Ninja Gaiden Black, so be prepared.
They're made of stronger stuff.
Yeah.
They have a lot of health in this game.
So anyway, that's it for chapter 4. Take care, and we'll see you in chapter 5.
Catch you next time, everybody.